My child, do not skip this. Do not scroll past it. Do not close the app. Do not let this be another thing you glance at and forget within the hour. Stay with me for the next few minutes, because I need you to hear something, and I need you to hear it clearly. If this message reached you today, it did not reach you by accident. I brought you here on purpose, at this exact hour, in this exact moment, because your life is about to change, and I wanted you to be ready for it. I know how that sounds. I know how many times you have heard promises like this before, only to feel let down when nothing seemed to shift in the end. I am not here to give you another empty promise, and I am not here to stir your emotions for a few minutes, only to leave you exactly where you started once this video ends. I am here to tell you the truth, and the truth is this. Something is moving in your life right now, something you cannot yet see with your eyes, but something I have already set into motion. I need you to take this seriously, not with fear, but with quiet, steady attention, because what happens next in your life may depend on how you respond to what I'm saying to you in this moment. I know the temptation to treat this like every other video that has ever crossed your screen, to let it play in the background while your mind wanders somewhere else. I am asking you not to do that today. Give me your full attention, just for these next several minutes, because what I am about to say is not filler, and it is not a formula repeated for engagement. It is a message meant specifically for the life you are living right now, in this season, with these exact circumstances pressing in on you. I did not choose this moment by accident, and I did not choose you by accident either. My beloved, I know what you've been carrying. I know about the exhaustion that has settled into your bones from trying to hold everything together on your own. I know about the loneliness that creeps in at night, even when you're surrounded by people who love you. I know about the financial pressure that keeps you awake, doing math in your head long after you should be asleep. I know about the disappointment that lingers from prayers that have not yet been answered the way you hoped. I know about the rejection that still stings when you think about it, even though you tell everyone you are fine. I know about the waiting that has stretched on so long you have started to wonder if I even remember what you asked for. I have not forgotten. I have never forgotten. And I did not bring you to this message to remind you of your pain. I brought you here because I am about to move, and I wanted you to know it before it happens. I know the specific way exhaustion sits differently in you than it does in anyone else, because your burden has its own shape, its own weight, its own particular ache that no one around you fully understands. I know about the friendships that quietly faded because you did not have the energy to maintain them, while you were simply trying to survive your own days. I know about the goals you set years ago that still feel out of reach, and how that gap between where you are and where you hope to be has slowly worn down your confidence. I know about the health struggles you carry quietly, the ones you do not mention, because you are tired of people offering advice instead of simply sitting with you in it. I know about the family tension that never quite resolves, the conversations you avoid because they always seem to end the same painful way. None of this is invisible to me. None of it has ever been invisible to me. Not for a single day. I saw the night you sat alone and wondered whether anything was ever going to change. I saw the prayer you whispered under your breath, so quiet you barely heard it yourself. I saw the moment you almost gave up on hoping altogether, the moment you decided it was easier to expect nothing than to keep being disappointed. I saw the tears you cried in the car, in the shower, in the middle of the night when no one else was watching. I saw the smile you put on for everyone else while something inside you was quietly breaking. Nobody else saw all of that. I did. And I want you to know that none of it was wasted, none of it went unnoticed, and none of it was the end of what I am doing in your life. I saw the version of yourself you've been quietly trying to hold on to through all of this, the version that keeps showing up even when showing up feels impossible. I saw the way you kept praying even when the answer seemed to take forever, the way you kept reading scripture even on the nights it felt like the words on the page were not reaching your heart the way they used to. I saw the moments you chose kindness, even though bitterness would have been easier. I saw the times you forgave quietly, without anyone ever knowing what it cost you. I saw the private battles you fought against discouragement, against comparison, against the temptation to believe that everyone else's life was moving forward while yours stood still. Every one of those moments mattered deeply to me. Every single one of them was seen, remembered, and lovingly counted. I also saw the specific requests you have brought before me, the ones you have almost stopped mentioning, because it hurt too much to keep asking without seeing movement. I saw the job you applied for that never called back. I saw the relationship you hoped would heal that instead grew more distant. I saw the health report you were hoping would say something different. I saw the financial breakthrough you have been praying for month after month, watching the same numbers stay the same or grow worse. I did not overlook a single one of those heartfelt prayers. I have been holding each and every one of them carefully, and I am not finished responding to them yet. What you thought was silence from me was not absence. What you thought was delay was not denial. What felt like nothing happening was actually everything happening, quietly, beneath the surface, in places you could not yet see. I have been preparing you. I have been preparing the way. I have been moving pieces into position that you did not even know existed, arranging circumstances, softening hearts, opening doors that have been locked for years, all while you were simply trying to make it through one more day. Your waiting was never wasted. It was a process, and the process is almost complete. Think of how a farmer prepares a field long before anything visible breaks through the soil. There is plowing, there is planting, there is watering, and there are long stretches of time where absolutely nothing seems to be happening on the surface. To an untrained eye, the field looks empty, unproductive, forgotten, but underneath, roots are forming. Life is beginning. The harvest is already on its way, even though it cannot yet be seen. Your life has been that field. What looked like nothing happening was actually the most important process, the part where the deepest, most necessary work takes place, hidden from view. I have used this season, the very one that has felt so slow and so difficult, to prepare you for what is coming. I have used the disappointments to teach you patience you did not have before. I have used the waiting to build a resilience in you that comfort alone could never have produced. I have used the moments of doubt to draw you closer to me, because it is often in the uncertain seasons, not the easy ones, that people learn to truly depend on me instead of on their own understanding. None of what you walked through was random or wasted. Every bit of it was quietly contributing to the person you are becoming, the person who will be fully ready to carry what I am about to bring into your life. There is an enemy who wants you to dismiss this message the moment it starts to feel real. He wants you to explain away, to tell yourself it is just a video, just words, nothing more. He wants you to keep living the way you've been living, expecting nothing, believing nothing, moving through your days on autopilot, because he knows that a life expecting nothing rarely receives anything either. He whispers that change is for other people, that breakthroughs happen to everyone except you, that you have prayed too many times for this exact thing, and nothing has ever come of it. He wants doubt to settle so deeply into your heart that you close this video and forget everything I just said within the hour. He will tell you that this message is just words on a screen, generated for anyone who happens to watch, meaning nothing specific about your life. He will tell you that if change were really coming, you would already feel it, already see evidence of it. And the fact that your circumstances still look the same today as they did yesterday proves that nothing is actually different. He will tell you that you have believed things like this before, gotten your hopes up before, and been disappointed before. So why let yourself hope again now? These thoughts will feel convincing, because the enemy is skilled at dressing doubt up as wisdom and caution, as though it were simply being realistic. But I say, guard your heart against that voice. I say that just because you cannot yet see evidence of change does not mean change is not already underway. Seeds do not announce themselves the moment they are planted. Pregnancies are not visible in the earliest weeks, even though life has already begun. Many of the most significant shifts in a person's life happen quietly, invisibly, long before anyone else notices anything different. What you're being asked to do right now is not to see the change before it fully arrives, but to trust that it is already in motion, the same way you trust the sun will rise even in the final dark minutes before dawn. The enemy will also try to make you feel foolish for taking a message like this seriously. He will whisper that spiritually mature people do not get excited about things like this, that you should be more skeptical, more guarded, more cynical about promises of change. I say, do not let cynicism replace your childlike faith. There is a difference between wisdom and cynicism has cost far more people their breakthroughs than foolishness ever has. Stay tender, stay open, stay willing to believe again, even after everything difficult you have already walked through up to this point. But I say something different. I say take this seriously. I say pay attention to what is happening in your life over the coming days, because I am not simply speaking empty comfort to you. I am telling you plainly that change is coming, and I wanted you to be spiritually and emotionally ready to receive it instead of missing it, because you were too discouraged to notice. The enemy wants you distracted. I want you alert. The enemy wants you asleep to what I am doing. I want you awake, watching, expectant. The way a person waits for sunrise, knowing it's coming even while the sky is still dark. My precious child, hear who you are in this moment, because it matters more than you know. You are not forgotten. You are not too far gone for a fresh start. You are not stuck in the same place forever simply because you have been there a long time. You are not disqualified from breakthrough because of your past mistakes, your doubts, or the times you wondered if I was even listening. You are loved fully and completely. In the exact condition you are in right now, not the version of you that has everything figured out. You are seen in your weakness and in your strength alike. You are still being guided, even on the days that feel aimless. Your story is not finished, and everything that has happened up until this point, painful or confusing as it may have been, is not the conclusion. It is only the setup for what comes next. You are not the sum of your failures, and you are not the sum of the seasons where you felt like you were falling behind. You are not disqualified because you have doubted me before, because everyone who has ever walked closely with me has doubted at some point, and doubt has never once been a deciding factor in whether I choose to move on someone's behalf. You are not too broken for me to use, too old for a new beginning, too far into a difficult chapter for the story to change direction. I have never once looked at a person and decided they'd used up their chances. That is not how my love works, and it is not how my grace works either. You are also not alone in this moment. Even if loneliness has been one of the loudest voices in your life lately, I am closer to you right now than you may feel, closer than the air you are breathing, closer than the doubts running through your mind as you listen to this. You do not have to reach far to find me. You do not have to earn my attention through perfect behavior or flawless faith. I am already here, already aware of everything you are facing, already moving on your behalf in ways you cannot yet perceive. Hold on to this truth, especially. Your identity has never been rooted in your current circumstances. You are not your bank account. You are not your relationship status. You are not your job title, your health report, or the number of years you have spent waiting for something to change. You are my child, fully known, fully loved, fully valuable regardless of what your life looks like on the outside right now. That truth does not shift based on your circumstances. It will not shift no matter what happens in the days ahead, whether the change comes quickly or whether it unfolds more slowly than you expect. There will likely be moments in the days ahead when you forget this truth, when circumstances press in hard enough that you slip back into old patterns of doubt and discouragement. That is human, and I am not asking you for perfect, unwavering faith every single moment. I am asking you to keep returning to this truth whenever you notice yourself drifting from it. Come back to it the way you would come back to a familiar path after wandering off briefly into unfamiliar terrain. I will always be here, ready to remind you again, patient with the process of you learning to trust me more fully with each passing season. Something is shifting. I need you to hear that clearly. A new season is approaching, and it is closer than you think. The waiting you have endured has not been meaningless in the slightest. It has been careful preparation, quietly shaping you into someone who can actually carry what is coming. The door that seemed permanently closed may not remain closed much longer. The situation that felt frozen in place is beginning to thaw, even if you cannot feel the movement yet. The morning you have been hoping for is on its way, and the night, as long and dark as it has felt, is not permanent. I want you to picture the moment right before dawn, the darkest part of the night, when it feels like the sun will never actually rise again. That is often exactly when the first faint light begins to appear on the horizon, so subtle that most people are still asleep and miss it entirely. I am asking you to be one of the people who is awake for it. I am asking you to watch closely in the coming days and weeks, because the shift I am describing may not arrive with dramatic fanfare. It may arrive quietly, in a conversation you almost dismissed, in an opportunity that seemed too small to matter, in a moment of peace that settles over you for no reason you can explain. Do not overlook the small signs simply because you were expecting something bigger and louder. I also want you to understand that this change is not limited to one single area of your life. It may touch your relationships, softening tension that has existed for years. It may touch your finances, opening doors to stability you've been praying for. It may touch your health, bringing clarity or improvement where there has been confusion or decline. It may touch your sense of purpose, finally making sense of a season that has felt directionless for far too long. I am not working in only one corner of your life. I am working across all of it, weaving together things you cannot yet see the connections between, preparing a shift that will touch more areas than you currently expect. Do not be surprised that the change begins in an area you are not even focused on. Sometimes I move first in the place that needs the least attention from you, using it to build your trust before addressing the areas that feel most urgent and most painful. Be patient with the order in which things unfold. Trust that I know exactly which piece needs to move first, and exactly how each piece connects to the others in ways that will only become clear once you can look back on this season from further down the road. I am not going to reveal everything to you all at once, because faith grows in the space between the promise and its fulfillment, and I do not want to rush you past the very place where your trust in me is being built. But I will tell you this: pay attention, stay alert, stay watchful, watch for the unexpected conversation, the sudden opportunity, the quiet peace that replaces anxiety without explanation, the door that opens after months of nothing. These are not coincidences. They're the beginning of what I told you was coming. What was broken in your life can be restored. What was lost can be redeemed in ways you have not yet imagined. What felt permanently impossible can shift the moment you least expected. Relationships that felt entirely unsalvageable can heal in ways you did not think possible. Finances that felt utterly hopeless can gradually stabilize. Health that felt like it was declining can improve. Purpose that felt buried under years of confusion can rise clearly to the surface again, undeniable and unmistakable. I specialize in taking situations that look finished and breathing new life into them. I have done it throughout history, and I am not finished doing it in your life either. Think about every person throughout Scripture who faced a season that looked permanently stuck, only to watch it transform into something they could never have orchestrated on their own. A situation that appeared hopeless became the very platform for an unmistakable act of provision. A relationship that seemed permanently broken became a picture of reconciliation nobody expected. A person written off by everyone around them became someone whose life changed the course of an entire family, an entire community, sometimes an entire nation. I have never stopped doing this kind of work. I am not limited by time, and I am not limited by how long a situation has remained unchanged. The length of your waiting does not determine the size of what I can do next. I want to speak plainly about what this change might look like. Understand that I do not owe you a guarantee of one particular outcome, because my ways are higher than the specific plans you have already mapped out in your mind. But I can tell you this: peace is coming to places in your life that have been anxious for far too long. Clarity is coming to decisions that have felt confusing and overwhelming. Reconciliation is possible in relationships you assumed were permanently severed. Provision is available in ways that may surprise you, arriving through channels you were not expecting. Strength is available for the parts of your life that have felt too heavy to carry alone. None of this is guaranteed to look exactly the way you have pictured it, but all of it is available to you as you continue walking closely with me through this season. I also want you to know that this change is not about you finally becoming good enough to deserve it. It was never about earning it in the first place. It is about grace, freely given, extended toward you not because of your performance, but because of who I am. You do not have to clean yourself up completely before I move on your behalf. You simply have to remain open, remain willing, and remain close to me as I do the work that only I can do. This is not a passive process for you, even though it is my work being done. Staying close to me, staying prayerful, staying rooted in Scripture, and staying surrounded by encouraging community are all ways you actively position yourself to receive what is coming, rather than missing it through distraction or discouragement. Partner with me in this season through your attentiveness, even while you rest in the truth that the outcome does not depend on your performance. But hear me on this, because it matters. As this change approaches, you must prepare your heart to receive it. Remain faithful, even in these final days of waiting. Stay close to me, even when life gets busy and prayer feels like one more thing on a long list. Guard your heart against distraction, because the enemy will try to pull your attention elsewhere right when the breakthrough is closest. Release bitterness toward anyone who hurt you along the way. Do not let old wounds poison the new season before it even begins. Release fear about what change might require of you. Forgive, even when it is hard, because unforgiveness has a way of blocking the very blessing you've been waiting for. Pray, even briefly, even imperfectly. Read scripture, even a few verses at a time, because it will anchor you as things around you start to shift. Trust my timing completely, because I am never early and I am never late. Stay spiritually alert, because the enemy will try to convince you nothing has changed the very moment before everything does. Consider carefully what needs to be released before this new season fully arrives. If there is bitterness towards someone who hurt you, ask me to help you release it, not because what happened did not matter, but because carrying it forward will only weigh down the very future I am preparing for you. If there's fear about repeating old patterns, bring that fear honestly to me instead of letting it quietly steer your decisions. If there are habits that have kept you stuck, small compromises that have slowly pulled you away from the life you actually want, use the season preparation to address them gently, one at a time, without shame, simply as part of getting ready for what is coming. Guard your relationships carefully during this time as well. Surround yourself with people who encourage your faith rather than people who consistently feed your doubt. This does not mean cutting people off harshly, but it does mean being intentional about whose voices you allow closest to your heart during a season when your heart needs to remain tender and expectant rather than hardened and cynical. Seek out community, even if it feels difficult, because isolation tends to amplify doubt while connection tends to strengthen faith. Practically speaking, use this time wisely. If change is coming to your finances, begin practicing wise stewardship with what you currently have, however small it may feel. If change is coming to your health, begin taking the small steps within your control, trusting me with the rest. If change is coming to your relationships, begin practicing the kind of grace and patience you hope to receive from others. If change is coming to your sense of purpose, stay open to unexpected paths, rather than rigidly clinging to one plan you have already decided is the only acceptable outcome. Preparation is not about controlling the outcome. It is about positioning your heart to receive whatever I bring with gratitude rather than resistance. This kind of preparation is not about perfection. It is about direction. You do not have to have every part of your life fully in order before I move on your behalf. You simply have to be moving in the right direction, willing to adjust, willing to grow, willing to let go of what no longer serves the life I am calling you into. Small, consistent steps of faithfulness matter far more than dramatic, short-lived bursts of effort followed by exhaustion. Take the small steps. Trust me with the rest. If this message has reached something real in you today, respond to it. Do not simply nod along and move on with your day. Type these words if you believe them. God, I am ready for what you are doing. Let it be a declaration, not for me, because I already know your heart, but for you, so that your own mouth confirms what your spirit is beginning to believe. This is not about a comment section or an algorithm. It is about a moment of faith, spoken out loud or typed out in words, marking the point where you decide to take this seriously instead of letting it pass you by. I am not asking for a comment because I need proof of your faith. I already know your heart completely, better than you know it yourself. I am asking because there is something powerful in the act of declaring truth out loud, in your own words, in a way that engages more than just your private thoughts. Speaking faith, even in a small typed sentence, has a way of settling belief more deeply into your heart than simply thinking it ever could. So if these words have reached you today, let your response be more than a passing feeling. Let it be a marker, a moment you can look back on later and remember as the day you chose to take this seriously. My beloved, I want you to feel the full weight of what I'm saying to you right now. I see you completely. I have not forgotten a single prayer you have prayed, not one tear you have cried, not one night you wondered if anything would ever be different. Your pain has not been meaningless, and your waiting has not been in vain. Your story is not over, and the chapter you are standing in right now, difficult as it's been, is not the final one. Something is shifting. A new season is approaching. And if this message reached you today, it reached you because I wanted you ready, watching, and unafraid, standing on the edge of something I've been preparing for you long. before you ever knew to ask for it. Look back for a moment over everything you have walked through to arrive at this exact point in your life. Every disappointment, every delay, every night you wondered whether things would ever change has led you to this precise moment, listening to this precise message. That is not a coincidence. That is a culmination of a process that has been unfolding for far longer than you realized. Quietly, patiently, purposefully. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where you need to be, standing right at the threshold of what comes next. I know it takes courage to hope again after disappointment. I know it feels safer sometimes to expect nothing, because expecting nothing means you cannot be let down again. But safety built on low expectations is not the kind of safety I want for you. I want you to hope boldly, even after everything you have walked through, because hope is not naive. Hope is an act of trust in who I am, not in your own ability to predict outcomes. I have never failed to be faithful, even in the seasons when it felt like nothing was happening at all. So take this seriously, not because I am asking you to be anxious about it, watching every moment with worry, wondering if you will miss it somehow. Take it seriously the way you would take good news seriously. A quiet expectation, steady hope, and a willingness to notice the small movements that signal something larger is underway. Your life is about to change, not because of anything you've done to earn it, but because I love you, and I have never once forgotten the promises I have made to you, even the ones spoken quietly, in prayers only you and I ever heard. Take this seriously, not with anxiety, not with fear, but with quiet, steady expectation, the way you would prepare for a guest you know is arriving soon. Clear away what needs to be cleared. Forgive what needs to be forgiven. Believe what needs to be believed again, because your life is about to change. And I did not want you to miss it simply because you stopped paying attention to what I was doing. Before you go, I want to speak to you the way you would speak to someone you love before an important moment. If this message stirred something real in your heart today, do not let it end here. Share it with someone who needs to hear that change is coming for them too. Someone who's been waiting so long they have nearly stopped believing anything will ever be different. You never know whose breakthrough you might help unlock by simply passing this message along at exactly the right time. Think about the people in your life right now who are quietly walking through the same kind of waiting you have experienced. People who have stopped expecting anything good to happen and have settled into a quiet resignation about their circumstances. This message might be exactly what reaches them, exactly what interrupts the discouragement they've been sitting in for far too long. You do not have to know the perfect words to say. You simply have to be willing to share what has already reached your own heart today. And if you want more reminders like this one, moments of Christian encouragement, prayer, and Bible-based hope for whatever season you are walking through, stay close to God Says Forever. This is a place built for people exactly like you. People who needed a word of truth on an ordinary day and found it reach somewhere deep and unexpected. Subscribe to God Says Forever so you do not miss what comes next, because there will be more moments like this one, more reminders that change is closer than it appears, and more encouragement for the days when you need it most. Your life is about to change. Stay ready. Stay watching. God Says Forever will be here to remind you again and again that I am always working, even in the waiting, even in the silence, even in the ordinary days that quietly become the turning point of everything. There will be days ahead when the excitement of this message fades a little, when ordinary life resumes and the weight of daily responsibilities crowds out the sense of expectation you feel right now. On those days, come back to this reminder that your life is about to change, that I have not forgotten you, and that I am working even when the evidence is not yet visible. Let God Says Forever be a place you return to again and again, whenever you need to be reminded that the God who spoke to you today has not changed his mind, has not grown tired of you, and has not stopped moving on your behalf, even on the ordinary Tuesday afternoons when nothing seems to be happening at all. Your breakthrough is closer than it has ever been. Stay close, stay faithful, stay watching for what I am about to do.